All right, everybody, welcome back. Sam the Electrician here, talking about Western independence and Alberta separation. Today, I wanted to talk about the Alberta Court of Appeals decision that ruled the federal carbon tax unconstitutional. I thought that was a great decision. Of course, it's only the Alberta Court of Appeal, so it still has to go to the federal court, Supreme Court, and of course, when it gets down there, those people live in Ontario. I believe they're a bunch of Kool-Aid drinking liberals, CBC watching, propaganda swallowing do-gooders who will uphold the federal government's massive tyrannical overreach into the province's jurisdiction and force this spurious, ridiculous joke of a tax down Westerners' throats. I've said it before and I'll say it again. You can't change the weather by taxing people. It's ridiculous. They have the worst reasoning behind it. They call it a price on pollution. And it just drives me crazy. It is absolutely nothing more than an ideological tax grab and, as I've said before, an ideological fascist takeover of the country, driven by these climate activists who we've seen time and again are actually just communists and socialists. They want to change everything. As they've said, they want to tear down all of society. And one of the best ways to do that is to make everybody miserable together. And then you can convince all the miserable people to go after those of us who are left who have good jobs and money. And it's working. So it's terrible, terrible thing when it gets to the Supreme Court. But on the bright side of things, the Alberta judges were very clear and prescient in their views. And I even wrote some of their quotes down because it echoes the same sort of thing I've been saying in my videos. Jason Kenney actually said this, which is good in its own way for him. He said, if he doesn't defend our right to challenge this in court, the provinces could see their powers usurped and become vassals of a centralized federal government, which in my opinion is already happening. So, this is why we need to get out of Confederation as soon as possible. The judges said, though, the law gives federal cabinet endlessly expansive powers, and the law is conspicuous for its breadth, and the act allows the federal government to intrude further into more and different aspects of lawful daily life. So when we separate these judges who sat on the Court of Appeal, except the one who dissented, those three judges should be put up for election as the top judges of the new Republic of Western Canada. I'm sure there'll be a lot of judges that will be eligible and think along the same lines, but that's the sort of thing that we need out here as our Supreme Court, because we are going to need a Supreme Court to be set up, and I think those three judges should be definitely considered for the job. I'm again assuming that we're going to have a good constitution where we can elect our judges, or at least have a say in something like that. But these guys, I really like the idea that they can see that the federal government is overreaching its constitutional powers here, and basically, as I've said, enforcing tyranny on the West. So we're not done yet with this fight, and we'll see where the next step goes. But just knowing that there's judges in Alberta still that think along the same lines as us and value freedom over ideological radicalism is heartening and encouraging. So thanks for joining me again. Take it easy.